Hello everybody, welcome to my first YouTube video. The channel is going to be called Nevs Mad Theories because I have a lot of theories for Marvel Phase 4, Star Wars, Disney Plus content, and mostly Marvel related. Also the spin-off series for Game of Thrones and other fun stuff. And Sony, because Sony just destroyed us yesterday. With the news of them pulling Spider-Man from the MCU, which I kind of saw coming once they showed J.K. Simmons at the end of Far From Home. I thought, there's something going on here. Tony Stark is dead. It seems like Spider-Man doesn't really want to be an Avenger now that Tony Stark is dead. And they show J.K. Simmons at the end as Jameson or whatever. It's ridiculous. Spider-Man's my favorite. He's always been my favorite since I was a little kid. And now, I don't trust Sony. I don't trust Sony with the rights to it because, look at some of the ones in the past. They've been pretty bad. So bad that people just kind of hated them after they came out. So we'll see. Hopefully they will come back to an agreement with Disney and be able to let Feige get in on this and, keep him there because, most of us diehard fans want to see him with Wolverine eventually. We want to see him in the Avengers. We want to see, there's a lot of stuff that we're losing if Disney and Sony break apart in this deal. So I'll be going into that separate video, but for this video, it's really just kind of an introduction, but also the first thing I'm going to talk about is Thor, Love and Thunder. So Jane Foster, not a novelist, becoming Thor. That was funny. I'm sorry. So Jane Foster becoming Thor. This is cool. I'm okay with that. We keep seeing Chris Hemsworth, and eventually that's gonna go away. We can't expect him to play the character for 20 years like Hugh Jackman did. It's not gonna work, even if they did have him do it. So my thoughts were, hey, who's gonna be the main villain? It could be a decent amount of people. There's a lot of characters out there, especially on the cosmic side of Marvel, that they could introduce, and they could also introduce, Adam Warlock in this way. They could introduce, maybe not with Thor, more like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but they could introduce Silver Surfer. They could introduce Galactus, or whoever the main threat is going to be, which we'll all find out. I'm not sure with Black Widow what's going to happen there and where that's going to put us, but you got the Krees. You've got all the stuff going on after Far From Home that we have to analyze and make sure that, we'll know where it's going eventually. It'll all kind of come out. But some of my thoughts on Love and Thunder. So Jane Foster had a lot of dirty looks from Sif when back in the first two movies. Sif was not happy. Now the Warriors 3 all died in Ragnarok. Where was Sif? No one mentioned her. I haven't even really seen any theories about where she is. But Love and Thunder. Lady Sif is in love with Thor. Thor is in love with Jane. And I don't see Sif being the main villain in Love and Thunder, but I do see some kind of power struggle, love triangle feud between Sif, Thor, and Jane. Now, if Jane has the power of Thor, I don't think Sif is really going to be able to do anything about it, but then again, it would be an interesting dynamic to see with all three of them there. Everyone's talking about Valkyrie being a part of this love triangle. I don't think so. Not really, because she's not interested in the same stuff as other people are. So, she in Ragnarok, she was against the crown because of all the crap that happened to her a long time ago. But now she has her own. She is the leader of Asgard at the end of Endgame. So, be interesting to see where they go with it all. I kept thinking about it and thinking, where would they go with Jane, and who would the villain be, and how would she get it, and what happens to Thor? So there's a lot of stuff to kind of dive into. We'll see more and more as time comes out. They'll show us who's being cast, and there'll be rumors, and there'll be leaks, and there'll be pictures, and we'll kind of get an idea of where it's all going. But for now, speculation, we have unlimited possibilities. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 could set up all different types of cosmic stuff, and Jane could very much be in the center of it once she takes over the mantle of Thor. So that's my Love and Thunder idea right now. It's a mad theory. Lady Sif versus Jane. Thor kind of just sitting back in the middle. Thor's going to be skinny again, by the way. We won't have excuse me. We won't have Bro Thor again. Him and Peter Quill are gonna start a workout program. I almost want to guarantee that. You know how in Infinity War, everyone started calling Peter Quill fat, and he just like, that's how I feel on a daily basis. People are like, "You're getting fat," and I'm like, you don't say that to people, but it's in Quill's mind now. He's like, oh shit, I'm getting fat, and him and Thor are gonna have to work out together on the Benatar or whatever, wherever, maybe go into a hyperbolic time chamber like Dragon Ball Z, work out in the quantum realm. That would, you spend 10 years in the quantum realm, and it's only 10 hours. So that'd be cool to see. But anyways, so branching back to Spider-Man, there's really sad news yesterday that he's leaving the MCU, and I hate to say it, it's gonna fail hard if they don't have him in the MCU. I don't care if it's Tom Holland. I don't care if it's whatever his name, Watts. I'm not too focused in on those details right this second. But what I am focused in on is the fact that Rhino showing up in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love you, Paul Giamatti, but when they called you up and they said, hey, do you want to be in the end credits of Spider-Man 2? And you were like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do that. And then you get there and you get a kind of an idea of what they're wanting to do with it. You should have pulled out right then. You should have just left. Said, no, I'd rather not have my face on that one. As someone that's not even famous, I wouldn't have played that role, because then everyone would be like, haha, you were Rhino and you looked like a moron. Look at Green Goblin, Electro, Topher Grace as Venom. That is my key example. Obviously, we have Tom Hardy. He's a great Venom, but come on. Disney knows what they're doing. Feige has a greater idea of where he wants this Ultimate Universe to go. Sony is going to pull out. They are going to start making their own Spider-Man movies again. Yes, they might throw in Venom. That would be cool. They might have Venom and Spider-Man fighting against Carnage. That would be cool. You might get a Sinister Six movie. That would be cool. But where does it go? It's gonna stop. It's gonna crash. Eventually, once these movies fail, Disney will buy the rights to it. And then every Marvel character that we know will be in the hands of Disney. And the possibilities of team-up movies and ensembles or whatever, it's going to be endless. And we'll be able to eventually have the movies reflecting exactly what happens in the comic books. So, more videos to come on Fantastic Four and X-Men. Who do we think they're going to cast as these characters? Which characters do we think are going to actually be in it? I just saw this really cool theory of Carl Urban from The Boys, Billy Butcher. Booker? Is it Butcher? I finished the show. I'm slipping on his mind right now. or on his name. It's slipping my mind. But I just saw a rumor that he could be Logan in the X-Men movies, and before I saw that theory, I did not think of him at all. But now that I'm thinking about it, and after watching The Boys and just seeing his kind of angry and, you know, reckless, ruthless mentality and you know, just raw strength, he could totally be Wolverine. He could definitely be it, and he actually kind of has the look. You know, I think he is he also from Australia? So let's just keep picking Australian people to play Wolverine, and we'll be fine, right? So, more to come on that. I'm gonna go into X-Men and Fantastic Four reboots. I'm gonna be talking about the Eternals. I'm gonna be talking about Spider-Man as more stuff comes out about it. I'll be talking about, you know, Squirrel Girl. I want a Squirrel Girl movie. That'd be cool. A lot more stuff to talk about. I mean, it's literally endless, the possibilities, except for Sony. Screw you, Sony. More to come.